welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Yes, precisely that. Asani, you have money. And of course, if that didn't tell you, this conversation is all about revealing the new bank notes, the money notes from the central bank's new designs here in Belize. Of course, this is a conversation that we have long been awaiting. We knew it was coming, and the launch is almost here. So on the couch we have with me Carlette Johnson, and she's the assistant manager at banking and investment. Good morning, Carlette. And next to her is Miss Stephanie Bradshaw, and she is the content analyst at the Central Bank of Belize. Good morning. Good morning. And lastly, we have Mr. Delroy Rayburn, and he's the assistant manager and of currency management. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're rich.
Yes.
We have money. But you know, we've been having this conversation. We knew that this was long in the making. We have officially redesigned the currencies of Belize, and there was a lot of controversy, debate. There still is conversation of, oh my gosh, it's devaluing, etc., etc. But for our viewers this morning, what is the need to know about this historic launch?
Well, first of all, we are very excited to be here, and we have had many months of research and collaboration with historians, with design experts and currency security experts. And we, like you said, we revealed the designs back in January, and since then we've been, doing our public awareness campaign to make sure Belizeans are well prepared for this transition. And come August 4th, they'll be able to get it in their hands. And we're very proud of the designs. You'll notice some similarities from the new notes and some differences. And we are confident people will be as proud when they get it in their hands. You mentioned some controversy online. Actually, a lot of the people we have been interacting with, so the people who've come to the bank for trainings, the students we've done presentations with, etc., they've been excited. So yes, there've been some chatter online, but we have done our part with dispelling those myths. Yes.
So here we go, right? While I respect the fact that there has been perhaps a robust campaign to raise awareness about the introduction of these new notes, when we speak with the average person on the street, right? Part of our jobs as reporters are to have conversations with the layman, right? One of the prevailing thought that comes out of those conversations or those questions is the idea of devaluation. For some reason, Belizeans still have it in their mind that shifting from the old $100 bill with the Queen's face on it to a $100 bill with George Price's face on it means that this no longer holds the same value as the other, right? And I cannot say that it does not speak to the efforts that you guys have made. We admit that you guys perhaps have been on top of this thing from the beginning, but for some reason Belizeans don't seem to understand that nothing changes in terms of the monetary value of the note itself. How do you get this message across to everybody else who's of that opinion?
I'll pass this one to Carlette.
So I would like to jump in. In terms of the value, we want to assure the public that the value remains the same. So $100 in the old series, it's still $100 in the new series. And so I think one of the things that Belizeans are not aware of is that in terms of the image of the Queen on the note, there are certain protocols that are in place in terms of the monarch. And so when we had the passing of the Queen, we learned that you could not print currency notes with a date that has beyond the year that she had passed. So we had to date our notes back to 2022, which is the year that she has passed. That is not a recommended practice, right? So we have to inform the public that it's not a matter of whether we did not move to the current national heroes that we would have stayed with the Queen, because there are protocols against that. So I I think we could tell them too that the central bank, the main mission of the central bank is to maintain monetary and financial stability. And so every day at the central bank, that is our function. We work towards that, and it's embedded in law that our peg has to remain at $2 Belize to $1 US.
I think it's also important for our viewers to understand what would devalue currency. It's not just by simply changing design,
yes.
right? There has to be global recession. There has to be a lot more global issues that would take place for us to devalue the currency that we have,
yes.
right? But I'm very excited to see that of course, we have our national heroes. Yes. We relate to the persons that are on the monies. What other features can you tell us that are on this that is different from the old design?
Right. Well, there are some familiar features that the public will be able to recognize. If you look at the notes and you hold it up to the light, you'll be able to see that they still have a watermark on the right side of the note. You'll also see that they have the two sets of serial numbers, one on the right side, one on the left side. And they also have a security thread. But what you'll notice is that the security thread is now enhanced. So if you look at the notes that we have right now, they all have the same security thread, which is that silver line down the note. But with these ones, the security thread are color shifting technology. So if you look at the lower denomination, you'll see that they have a thin security thread that goes in and out of the note. As you tilt it towards the light, you'll see the colors change.
Yes.
If you go to the higher denominations, so the $10 and up, those have a holographic foil stripe, which is a different type of security thread that also has color shifting technology. And we've also added another enhancement behind those notes, the $10, $20, $50, $100, where it has a thread at the back. So before, we didn't have any of our notes with a thread at the back. So those are some of the new features. Another feature that we're very excited about is for the first time we have a feature for the visually impaired. So if you look at all the notes, you'll notice some lines on the right and left sides of the note. That's called tactile marks. It's raised. So somebody that's visually impaired will be able to feel it and tell what. Yes.
It's not braille. It's not braille, but it's something similar to braille.
That is so cool.
Yes, so if you notice the $2 starts with one line and then it goes up. The 5 has 2, the 10 has 3.
Yes.
Until it reaches the 100.
That is really neat.
So when the notes are new, you will feel it distinct, but as they wear, then you won't feel it as much.
Okay.
So we encourage the
very
visually
careful about
impaired to use the newer notes. Yes.
Okay.
There's also many features that you can't see with the naked eye. So if you use the tools that you have there, the UV light and the magnifying glass, you'll be able to see some of our UV features and some of the micro lettering on the notes.
My question has to do with the gradual phasing out of the existing family of notes, right? So that while these will come into effect on August 4th, it will take a few years before we phase out everything that's currently in circulation. Talk to us a bit about that process.
All right. The notes that are in circulation will remain legal tender, so we have no plans to demonetize. The public doesn't have to worry about the shops not accepting that currency. It's still legal tender. And what will happen on August 4th is that the banks and credit unions will no longer be issuing that version of the note. So as they get deposits from their customers, from businesses, they'll pass that on to the central bank and we'll remove those out of circulation. So yes, it might take a few years, but you'll see it gradually less and less because we will not be putting any more of those notes into circulation.
I don't know how I feel though.
What do you mean, Sonny?
In the sense that while some people have transitioned to transacting cashless, some of us are still very, like myself, I'm an old school person, right? I prefer the thing in my hand, right? But it'll be a mental shift for me to walk around with one of this and presenting it to the cashier or the teller or whosoever I'm doing business with, considering the fact that for so long, arguably all my life up until this point has been with one set of notes that we've become so familiar with.
History.
So what happened is Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth has been the longest reigning monarch. So like you rightly said, many people are familiar with her because she has been on our currency from 1950, right? But before her, it was the previous monarch that was on our currency, right? So it's nothing new to have the monarch on it. But now that she has passed, like I said, we need to to move on. And so internally there's a project team that was working on the currency design, and we felt that it was time that we started to honor our own Belizean heroes, to honor their life, their legacy, and their achievement. And so that's why we went that way.
I know that we've talked about the notes for quite some time. Are we shifting gears into coinage? Is that going to be the next steps?
Yes, we are looking at the coins right now. That project has just started. So for the same reasons we had to update the designs of the notes, is the same reason we have to update the designs of the coin. As you all know, the Queen is also featured on the coins, and because of her passing, we need to look at those designs. So we're in the very early stages right now. We haven't decided exactly, we haven't made the decisions when it comes to the official design, so that's still in progress, and the public should learn more about that sometime next year.
Okay. And we're just going to have from the 1 cent to the dollar. Is that going to be the same?
Same
Yes.
denominations. Yes.
Okay. You also brought some UV lights here. What are we supposed to be doing with these?
All right, so some of the security features on the notes are, you can only see them under a UV light.
Oh.
So if you hold the notes up and you flash the UV light on them, you'll be able to see those features. One of the feature is a UV image of the mahogany tree.
Yes,
That's
that's
on
right
all
in the
the-
middle
yes.
of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Yeah. And you'll
And
also
the
be able to see
50,
some UV
well, in
lettering.
this case, it's the $50 specimen that I'm holding up. You see
Yes, you'll be able to
See
see
the
the 50
100,
there.
the 50.
You also see the
See
black
the
orchid at the
orchids?
bottom.
You see
Yes.
the orchids, the mahogany tree.
Yeah.
All right, not bad.
Wow.
Yeah, we did see some comments about people saying that they did not see the orchid and the mahogany tree on the notes. They are right there. They're just
They
in
are,
UV.
they
Yes.
are. It's a little
Yes.
hard to see on our camera. I'm trying, but
Yeah.
but you see the 100.
You
so
won't see it, yeah,
you
you
see the
won't see it.
100. You see the
Yeah,
100
yeah.
over the other 100 there. Also, I was looking at with the magnifying glass, and there's some features like if you use it, you see that it has like tiny little hundreds.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Micro lettering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is.
I think
those are
perhaps
interesting.
these are all features to try as best as possible to thwart counterfeiting.
Yes,
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 yes.
they're
That's
enhanced. Yeah, and we do want to point out, because these are new features, as a part of our education campaigns, we want the public to become familiar with these features, because when these new notes go into circulation, they need to remain vigilant, so that they're able to detect which notes are authentic. If any counterfeiters try to replicate the notes, then we need to be able to recognize that and to avoid losing any money
But
to
we also
counterfeiters,
want
yeah.
the public to also, because like you said, the phasing out is going to take several years. So unfortunately for the public, you'll have to learn both security features, because you still have to be vigilant with the old series until it gets phased out of circulation.
Yeah.
How are we having this type of, conversation with our diplomatic partners? I go to Chetumal and I want to change into my peso utilizing this type of money. They're aware of this particular exchange already?
So, like I was mentioning earlier, our campaign started from right after we revealed the design, and we've been having trainings with multiple sectors, government agencies, insurance companies, obviously the financial institutions. We've had trainings or presentations with schools I had mentioned earlier. So we've tried to check all the boxes. Like with the public, we've gone to like a Greek show, and after launch, so after August 4th, we will be embarking on our road show. So we'll be going to every district and having pop-ups to educate people again, to give them a chance to interact with the new notes. So we've been checking boxes. We've been going with, we know our stakeholders, and we've been interacting with them in different ways.
Okay. Well, ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. As of August 4th, you go to your ATM and you're going to get a crispy Jaji Blue note. That is what you're getting. But thank you all so much, and we hope that you will be continuing your campaign and you'll be here on the couch again soon. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take another quick break and we'll be back with more Open Your Eyes.